It's 8:30 on Tuesday, April the 7th. It's briefing time. First of all, no changes to the National Terrorism Advisory System overnight. Snapshot of the region this morning gives you the updated numbers from the unaccompanied children as of yesterday. No declaration updates to talk about. No damage assessment. No fire management. As we switch over to the geo platform this morning, got some colors on the map again this morning. Trevor from the Weather Service will have an update here in just a moment. In the meantime, though, changes to the status of our state EOCs, all of our level 4s in every state as the region. Here it is as well. No changes to the status of our IMAPs, and no updates on, no changes to the earthquakes that have occurred north of Oklahoma City or in the urban area, no damage or injury. Overnight, we did have, late yesterday afternoon, we did have a series of collisions on the Mississippi River near the town of Convent. A 751-foot boat carrier broke free from its mooring, drifted downstream, and impacted two other vessels, a tow vessel and a tank ship that was offloading crude. A total of 526 gallons of crude oil were released. All the vessels are secure, but about 10-mile stretch, as you see here on the map, of the Mississippi is closed. And the one landmark right here actually is the Palace Station. Jefferson Parish is monitoring the intakes. They get their water intakes, they get their water from the Mississippi, and they are prepared to treat water if indeed any of that oil reaches. Now we'll go back over to the base map and turn it over to Trevor.
All right, well, thank you. What you're seeing there in pink is a series of red flag warnings for the fire weather conditions in New Mexico and up in the Amarillo area for the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, including far west Texas. Those red flag warnings basically mean you're going to have very low relative humidity and windy conditions in the area that could result in some rapid fire growth should any actually occur. As you're seeing around the region, we got some showers and storms in Arkansas and more shower activity in Louisiana, but nothing really of any concern at the moment. Taking a look at today, what we're considering, we do have a very marginal possibility for some severe storms up in extreme northern and northeastern Oklahoma, but more of the concern for that is really north of that area. So there's a possibility that they may get a severe storm or two, but really concerned with farther north. The real big concern for today is the fire weather conditions that you saw in the pink areas on the previous slide. And those conditions will persist for the next few days, actually, in the same general regions as you see in the matrix there. Shifting for tomorrow, the severe weather concern is going to be on Wednesday for mostly central and northeastern Oklahoma, where there's going to be a potential for some very large hail, damaging winds, and even a possibility of some tornadoes in that area. And to a lesser extent, marginal threat extending down into even the Rio Grande, down in central Texas and parts of even northwest Arkansas. Moving on to Thursday, that's really where we've got our attention focused for widespread severe weather. As you can see there, it's spanning from all of Arkansas really to southeastern Oklahoma, northeastern Texas, and northern Louisiana. That's a slight risk as it is now, with the most concerning area farther north out of the region. But what we are really concerned with also is that we do have a considerable threat for some flash flooding in those same areas. It's really along the Mississippi River and eastern Arkansas and areas like that, but the flash flooding concern spans basically the same areas as the severe storms. And then there, as you can see, the fire weather concerns for the New Mexico area as well. And then as that system moves off to the east, we will continue to have maybe some lingering effects from the flooding on Friday in those areas in eastern Texas and northern Louisiana. But then the fire weather concerns diminish somewhat for New Mexico and become really just an Oklahoma and Texas panhandle threat at that time. Here's a graphical outlook of what we were talking about for today. The yellow area there is really coincident with the pink that you saw for the red flag warnings, and that will persist throughout today. And then there's that margin of risk up in northern and eastern Oklahoma. Day 2 and 3, the fire weather conditions don't really shift at all, the same general area, including those mentions that we had before. And then a slight risk of severe weather, as you can see there, for central Oklahoma into north and northeastern Oklahoma. Remember again that very large hail is really the main threat there, but damaging winds and possibly some tornadoes can't be ruled out as well. And then the slight risk, as you can see, shifts a bit for Thursday, with flash flooding being introduced as a threat as well for most of Thursday, into Thursday night and even early Friday morning. Looking at the drought monitor, unfortunately, it doesn't look like a whole lot of relief is in the future, as most of the forecasted rainfall looks to be east of the heavily hit dry drought area that you see there. So those conditions should persist. And then looking at the space weather, looks like we have very little to be concerned with. Everything is rather minimal as far as space weather is concerned. There's something a little special today. Wanted to talk a little bit about, just very briefly, about our new impact-based warnings. As you will probably be seeing these now with the severe weather in the next couple days, you'll look a little bit different. More than anything, what this is going to, the big change here is what the text of the severe weather warnings are going to look like. The polygons will look pretty much the same, but as far as the information inside of it, as you can see on the left there, all the information is a little bit more compartmentalized and segmented, so that you have a really quick way of looking at what the hazards are, what the source of that hazard is, and what it means to you. What are the impacts? And then at a very brief summary at the very bottom, it'll tell you the threat damage indicators there, where tornadoes can be considerable or even catastrophic if they've been verified. So this provides a little bit more information that might be pertinent to decision makers about what the threat actually is and what it means to you. But we're going to talk a little bit more about that at the webinar later this morning. So if you'd like some more information on that, please participate. But that's what we've got for you. If anyone has any questions, please let me know.
Thank you, Trevor. Appreciate that. Any questions for the Weather Service? Go ahead and type that in the chat window. Be on the phone, ask your question. While we're doing that, we'll take a look at the meetings going on around the region this week. And Bruno reminds everybody that the webinar will be put up in the RRTC for anyone that would like to see that, and it is at 10:30. Today's trivia question: of the lower 48 states, who holds the record low temperature for April? Anyone venturing a guess? And they are right. Angela and Jackie got the right answer. New Mexico, 36 degrees below zero. And there's our weather forecasting instrument right there. Any questions this morning? All right, seeing no one else typing in the chat window, hearing nothing on the phone, everyone have a